Because, of course, there's going to be the white people in the comments saying, all these comments are so disgusting and sad. Like, a building doesn't commit sins, you guys. It's beautiful. You can't see it by the architecture. The architecture. Like, it's such a beautiful place, and this is just so sad. All of these hateful comments. Why are all the comments about slavery?
Hey, yo, the ancestors wilding out, yo. The ancestors wilding out. The main building at Nottoway Plantation, the oldest surviving antebellum slavery plantation, has on fire, baby. The ancestors is not playing. A lot of people don't understand hoodoo. See, hoodoo, people think that we're just root workers. You know, your element is just earth and water. Oh, no. They use fire, too, baby. They use fire. And you know it's bad when it's on World Star, baby. I told you, 2025 and beyond. Listen, white supremacists, y'all have had your time. You've had your time. And now the ancestors, they have said, burn this shit up. Burn this shit up. I told you. The ancestors, they are not playing games this year, yo. I'm trying to not upset them. I want to keep them happy because, Lord, they are busy.
Seeing that plantation burn down brought me a lot of joy. Because why are there plantations still around anyway?
We have the most in this region, and that's because when he purchased a slave, if the slave had a wife and children, he'd buy the whole family so that they would never be separated. And so that was good for them. And then in the village, he built a cottage for each of those families so they could have a share with multiple families and squeeze into one space. So that was good too. They could hunt, they could fish, so they could buy for their own food. And they also built a hospital for them, and there was a doctor who would visit every week. And the doctor trained one of the slaves to be a nurse to take care of them. So from the readings that we have, it sounds like the slaves were treated fairly well as the slave can be treated, considering the conditions. When the war ended, the majority of the slaves stayed here. We actually have descendants of the slaves who still work here today. Pretty amazing.
Can we talk about Nottoway Plantation real quick? Listen, I'm white. That's obvious here. But I am not $50,000 wedding at a plantation that slaves built white. That is crazy to me.
I'm not happy that that plantation burned down. And a lot of people might think to themselves, oh, it's a good thing, it's a good thing. No, what should have happened was somebody of color, a descendant, should have owned the property.
A plantation turned tourist attraction just caught fire. And y'all still think that the past doesn't build the present. Don't scroll. This ain't news. It's a message. Tools. Linked in the bio. Go check it out. You don't get to profit off of pain and expect peace. You don't get to whitewash trauma into wedding venues and brunch menus and think the spirits won't spin the block. This isn't just fire. It's remembrance. It's reckoning. It's repayment from the soil that never got what was planted. So while they're scrambling for explanations, we already know the math. Energy returns, interest included. That's not revenge. That's rhythm. Feel that? Share it. If you're awake, follow. If you're still confused, ask your ancestors. They remember everything.
Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I came across all these videos on my FYP and I tend to share with you all. So a lot of people are actually very excited of the Nottoway plantation that just got burned, and I was so baffled to see that it's not just, you know, people that looks like me that are not happy about it, that are actually happy about it. We also have like white people who are actually excited that this plantation got burned. Like, I am so baffled to really know that they are excited it got burned because of the numerous weddings they're having in this plantation, forgetting the fact that, you know, it was built by the sweat of some enslaved people in that place. And yes, why would you use a plantation, okay, that was built by enslaved people as a wedding venue? Like, it's very, very funny. Well, I'm just going to let these videos roll, then we'll come back with the talk. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. I'm ready to work with us on this video, so let's go watch, then we'll come back with the comments.
I hate to break it to you, but no slave was treated like family. This is something that white people say to try to make slavery more excusable. Well, we did work them until the point of them dying, but we treated them like family. No family member is bought and then held in captivity where you had to work day in and day out to the point where you were sick or passing away from the work, and then beating you if you didn't complete the work, and sometimes selling your children or unaliving you or unaliving your children or using them as alligator bait. That doesn't sound like family to me, and if it does, you come from a pretty fucked up family. One side of my family, which was Zachary Taylor, also owned slaves. I'm a white lady from Appalachia, and I want no part of that shit. Even if magically the land was given to me, I want no part of that shit. In Appalachia, it's our belief that the spirit stays where the spirit stays, which means if all of these people passed away from heinous acts on the property, they're going to stay there. But for you to say that your family owned them and they were treated like family and I need to do my homework, no, baby, you need to do your homework. I know every day the American school system fails us when it comes to talking about slavery and what it really was, but you're an adult, you're old enough to do your own research, so do your own research instead of being ignorant and telling other people to do theirs. No excuse to be an adult man and still be this ignorant about this type of situation. Slavery was a major part of our history. Learn it.
You know, speaking as a Southerner, born in Georgia and raised in both Georgia and Alabama, and also as a spiritual advisor and counselor, when I watched the burning of the Nottoway plantation, the very first video I saw, immediately my spirit felt relief. Felt a release, almost. Almost as if what I was beholding was a purging, a cleansing, a purifying, if you will. Almost as if the energy and spirits, potential spirits connected to it, were being laid to rest and being put at ease, so to speak. And side note to that before I say the other thing, I find it very interesting that people, believers, will get on social media anytime, you know, a big old hurricane disaster, this, that, and the third, and talk about how it's the judgment of God against the nation for, you know, not doing this right in Congress or not doing that and blase this and whatever. But when they see something other like this, especially y'all know, especially them folk, will get in the comment section and won't see nothing in that. It's just, oh, I hate it. It's such a beautiful venue. Oh, I had my wedding there. I had a party there. First of all, you are tacky, tasteless, and classless if you host a venue at a plantation. And that's coming from a born and bred Southerner. And speaking of someone who is of Jewish descent, I might add, that's like holding your birthday party at Auschwitz. Have you lost your mind? But my point is, when something like this happens, you notice you don't hear too much from the believers talking about, oh, well, that's a sign of the judgment of God against America for the atrocities and the genocide against African-American people. Like, you don't hear nobody talking about that there. But heed my words, that's only the beginning. Baruch Da'imet, blessed is the true judge. I pray that those spirits continue to rest in the Creator's arms, and that every individual connected ancestrally or in whatever shape or form that was affected, who had their lives taken or were abused in any shape, form, or fashion from then on down through now, because generational curses and generational trauma is a thing. I pray that their descendants find healing, find restoration, and find justice in all things, as in accordance with the divine will. Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with looking at them videos and smiling. Because I know I did. Just my thoughts. Love and blessings, beloved.
Can we talk about Nottoway Plantation real quick? Listen, I'm white. That's obvious here. But I am not $50,000 wedding at a plantation that slaves built white. That is crazy to me. And if you look up the history of Nottoway Plantation, it's actually incredibly heartbreaking. I just watched a video of a guy that was a tour guide at Nottoway, and he was saying that the script was so strict there, and there were things that he refused to talk about because it was so wrong. Like, they were trying to tell the history about Nottoway Plantation, but a lot of it was not accurate at all. I want to show you a picture, though, of this girl's post that I saw, and it was of Nottoway burning, and she circled all of, like, the spirits that were leaving Nottoway, and I just could not help but to notice one that I don't think anyone else has noticed. So let me show you. All right, so this is the post that I saw. It was on my FYP, and as you see in the picture, she was circling, like, all of the spirits that were being let go, right? Freed. I noticed something in this picture that I'm not sure that anyone else noticed. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to show you. We're going to go to the top right, the far right column, and I want you to look at something. Are you seeing what I'm seeing right here? Take a minute to look at the picture. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Does this not look like a massive man standing on the porch, from the porch all the way up to the very top of the house next to this column? That looks like a giant, massive man. I couldn't help but notice it. It was very obvious to me. But I'm just curious, what are your thoughts about Nottoway, the history, and its ultimate demise here?
Because, of course, there's going to be the white people in the comments saying, all these comments are so disgusting and sad. Like, a building doesn't commit sins, you guys. It's beautiful. You can't see it by the architecture. The architecture. Like, it's such a beautiful place, and this is just so sad. all of these hateful comments? Why are all the comments about slavery? That's like y'all going to the concentration camps where the Holocaust took place, the gas chambers, and saying, oh wow, look at how great this is built. It's so beautiful. And then going an extra mile and saying, why are all these comments about the Holocaust? Like, y'all get for real right now. The amount of horrible things that happened on these grounds, in these walls. And while I can understand for historic purposes that it's great to have these things still around so that we are reminded of what happened, but when this is turned into a resort, then we got a problem. Our ancestors will not be mocked. Our trauma will not be mocked. The disgusting, horrible, traumatic, violent things that happened in these walls, on these grounds, is not something to romanticize and make beautified and forgotten and swept to the side because of the architecture. Are y'all for real? People's family members were unalived here, and it's been made into a resort. Like, and y'all in the comments talking about why are all the comments about slavery? As the largest antebellum mansion in Louisiana burns down, and you can't fathom why African-American people are celebrating, are saying good, and are talking about our ancestors. Like, this is our family history. Like, I don't think it's clicking for some of y'all. Y'all can't fathom why we're relishing and celebrating the destruction of a reminder of our family's trauma and abuse and violence that your people inflicted on us. Trauma that lives still within our DNA, has impacted the very essence of our being, our very molecular level. But yet you can understand romanticizing it. You can understand making it a place, a getaway, a place to visit, a place to, I want to get married here. Y'all can understand that.
But did y'all see them souls walking free, coming out of the smoke? Did y'all see it? Because I know I was not tripping. Because I actually saw it. And I was like, okay, that's a lot of smoke. But then as I was watching the videos, I was like, those are energies emerging through the smoke. Those are the ancestors. But what? Did y'all not see that? Did y'all not see it? Only those with the eyes to see will be able to see it. And I'm talking to my seers. Baby, go back and look at some of them pictures of how the smoke is, at the front of the house and even towards the roof. Go look at them pictures. Baby, they said freedom is coming tomorrow. Okay? Y'all. Oh my God. What a beautiful thing to witness. Very beautiful to witness our ancestors get their freedom and to be released. Oh my God. I'm trying to tell you. It definitely need to be a tour. Take Annabelle to all of them. Go on and prop her up in there, let her sit there overnight. Go on back and get her. And then just let, things take its course. Okay? And for those of y'all who are upset about this and saying, this is a historical piece of America, absolutely. And in order for things to start anew, a rebirth to happen, there has to be tower moments. That right there is a tower moment. If you read tarot, then you know. Come on, rebirth. Come on, ancestors. Come on, y'all. And not to mention, I can't help but to think at the fact that the gingers and us have basically came together on a united front. And I'm talking about those who are leading with love. I'm talking about those who are leading with the frequency of, love. You know what I'm saying? The God frequency, which is love. I'm not talking about the people who done got on this app talk about, y'all keep telling these people that they black and all. Oh, I don't want to fucking hear it. I'm be honest. My block list has been growing and growing and growing with each video I've seen of that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this is what healing looks like. This is where the healing starts. So yes.
Do you guys see the video of that young lady who was actually tour guiding people, like the tour guide of that plantation, Nottoway plantation, who was telling people, that, they try as much as possible to make them live happily and they treated them nicely and, they treated them like family. And I'm like, who will actually buy a family member? Like, you deliberately bought your family member. Who are you telling all of these things? Like, did you guys see that woman passing through her? I felt like when that woman was passing, I was like, when she said, oh, that some of the descendants of those slaves still work in that plantation, I was like, are you kidding me right now? And that woman passed, I felt something within me. And, this lady said things, out of uh, all boldness, and saying things like, oh, they treated them nicely. If you have a family, if the slave have a family, they buy them together with their family. And the children will definitely see how you treat their parents in front of them. This, if you have not really taken time to watch any of this slave videos or movies, maybe you should just take time, to go look for these movies and watch. If you have anyone, please suggest in the comments. But all of these things are actually when you watch these movies, you'll be able to like understand the deeper reason why a lot of people are excited that these things are happening, okay, that these plantations are getting burnt, okay. Nobody said you should not keep plantation, like the black lady who was talking about maybe a person of color would have bought the plantation or had the plantation just to keep the history, right? Nobody said that the plantation shouldn't stay, but taking that plantation and turning it to a wedding venue is what I am so not okay with, right? Making it a tourist attraction center is okay. People come to actually understand the reason or the things that happen, okay, during this trade, the slave trade, okay, is okay. Keeping history alive, saying the real history and not what you just cook up, right? But what I don't understand is you turning it to a resort. How can a place turn to a resort? And that's why you see in the comment section, you'll be seeing people making comment like, oh, the architecture was so nice. That's the best architecture of those days. I have actually been planning to go visit it. Why will anybody be excited? What about the architecture? Is something that been standing for years. We should have just let them, like, seriously? What about people that worked there with their whole sweat and they went through a lot? You don't think about them, you don't care about them. What you care about is a building that went down, okay, or caught fire, all right? Until now, I don't think anybody have actually found out what really caused that fire. Yes, there are a lot of people who said because Annabelle the doll has left the place and the place caught fire, right? Or the ancestors has, reason they are not happy about the whole thing, right? If you're somebody who believe in something like that, definitely that's one thought that will come to your mind with everything that is currently happening. But you coming to comment sections to really say, oh, people should not be excited that this thing is happening, is a history that should remain. Nobody say it shouldn't remain. I've seen comments of people saying that they prefer Whitney plantation than any other plantation in America, right? They prefer Whitney plantation. The reason being that Whitney plantation actually take people around to tell them exactly what happened during the slave trade, explaining to them, and they didn't turn it to a resort. It's not a resort. Nobody comes there to do weddings and all of that. And that's why a lot of people are actually praising that particular plantation, right? Unlike these other ones. I also saw a video currently where some people were talking about a plantation in DC, but I've not actually checked it out. But I'm just saying that all of these things will make people, okay, excited when they remember the whole thing that happened to their ancestors and how you guys and making it look like it's just a normal thing. It could happen to anybody, but it didn't happen to your generation. It didn't happen to your ancestors. It happened to them. And for people not even accepting that something happened and people are supposed to react the way they're supposed to react. There's this picture in people's head, like you should react the way we want you to react and not the way you want to be, react after knowing exactly what happened to your ancestors. It's just very funny. Well, I'm just going to let this video I'll leave this video here, end it here. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, in the comments. Let's have that conversation in the comment section. What's your thought about the whole Nottoway plantation burning? I would really want to hear from you. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. I look forward to seeing you all on my next video. Bye, guys.